Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pull List. My name is Travis. Let's talk about Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #1. That's a mouthful. This is in no way my attempt to justify my comic book obsession. And this story, I really like. Artwork, the storytelling. So in this video, I'm going to be talking a lot about Spider-Man. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one either. Him. This week, as a tie-in to Secret Wars, Marvel released The Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #1. The book focuses on Peter Parker and Mary Jane together, married, they even have a daughter. And most of the general public, when they think of Peter Parker and Mary Jane, they think, oh, they're together, they're married, or dating, or something. They're together though, right? Right? That's actually not the case anymore. In the previously just ended Amazing Spider-Man series, Mary Jane and Peter Parker have long parted ways. They're still sort of friends, but they're not dating or married or together romantically at all. Actually, in the series, they used to be married, but they're not anymore, and they kinda never were. Because of the short storyline that started in Amazing Spider-Man 544, Mary Jane and Peter Parker kinda make a deal with the literal devil to undo their marriage if he can save Aunt May and keep her alive. There were a lot of people that were really upset about that sudden turn of events. Mary Jane and Peter Parker were never married. They just were unmarried. They were never married. Arguably the worst retcon in Spider-Man comics history. But because this is Secret Wars, writer Dan Slott can explore this never really happened future alternate reality thing in a very spectacular way, with a marriage that never was. That sounded really heavy. Now I know I said between Secret Wars, Battle World, Last Days, and War Zones, that is over 140 books total. I work in a comic shop and I'm probably not even going to read close to 100. But actually, I've read every Secret Wars tie-in up to this point. There are perks to working at a comic book shop, believe me. And some of these stories are really great, incredibly well written. Old Man Logan, fantastic. It's really interesting seeing these realities and lands kind of cross into other lands because they don't know that the other lands or other realities exist, but all that exists is Battle World. They're all on this one world, but they don't know that. And in some of the tie-ins, things and people cross into different zones, and according to that god of Battle World, who I'm not going to spoil if you haven't read Secret Wars yet, that's a big no-no. Most of these characters don't realize that they had a world or universe before Battle World, before everything went. And thus far in Secret Wars, not many characters realize that there's something kinda wrong or different than what used to be. But once you read Secret Wars 3, which also came out this week, things go down. However, on the topic of Secret Wars, Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #1 doesn't reference Battle World or different lands or anything at all. And I know what I said earlier about the other tie-ins. This story is great. With all the events that happen in this issue, it's very clear that this is an alternate reality sort of pocket universe in its own little dimension, area, section, sliver of time. And even though it's really interesting to see the other characters sort of realize something's not really right here, you know, like if you bump into an alternate reality version of yourself that says that stuff used to be way different than it is now, that you can imagine that'd be kind of trippy. But Renew Your Vows #1 stands on its own as being a very solid story, and Dan Slott does a really good job of being able to build a futuristic sort of interweaving, really interesting story of what could have been this alternate reality future of Peter Parker and Mary Jane without adding all of the levels of Secret Wars or Battle World or anything yet. It's a tie-in. It's going to. But as of right now, with issue 1, it's really solid on its own. Renew Your Vows #1 does a great job of telling great character development and having a lot of big things happen. Sans Battle World. Now before I read Renew Your Vows, I knew that the title meant something about them being married, or perhaps an anniversary of sorts. I don't know, I didn't know what to expect other than the fact that Peter and Mary Jane are married. And they clearly have a child. But it's just like those great classic Spider-Man stories. It balances personal life with the life of being a web slinger, and now being a father. Renew Your Vows. Get it? Oh, and of course, J. Scott Campbell did this wonderful variant cover for Renew Your Vows. Same story on the inside, fabulous variant cover. Link to get it down below. If they're still available, they're selling incredibly quick. Also this week I picked up Nailbiter number 13 and Wicked and Divine number 11. Both are rated mature because they're very gory and bloody and horrific, but they are fantastic reads if you're of age. Thank you for watching this episode of The Pull List. My name is Peter Parker. I need to go take some pictures. Bye.